Kiki, Keke Wyatt, come to the front again. I keep trying to let you make it, girl. I keep trying to let you make it. But who gives a fuck? You don't like me and I don't like you. And here's why. Motherfuckers like you don't like me. Let's run this down. You're being a little too silent for me while folks is up here calling your son a pedophile. Your second oldest son, the one that came out and said you were homophobic, you being a little too silent for me while that's going on. Listen, and they are not just calling him a pedophile because he's a young adult, he's in his early 20s or whatever. But this stems back to when he was a child, like a preteen, like a little boy. Say he was up there, he was up there feeling on folks in your household, unwarranted. You being a little too silent for me about that. Because let me tell you something, especially if this is true that he started doing such things, trigger warning people, I'm sorry, trigger warning. But if this is true that he started doing such things since he was a child, then let's talk about you, Kiki. Let's talk about all them niggas that ran in and out your house that you've been in relationships with. You even dated the little nigga from Pretty Ricky. A lot of folks don't know that it didn't last long enough, and you dated him while you was still married. Like, girl, you you done had your little ran through activities, okay? You done had niggas in and out your crib. You got people in your crib that don't belong there around you and your 50 million children. Your customized football team you got over there living with you that you done gave birth to. Because if this shit just ain't, it didn't just start, Kiki. It didn't just start. Come on now. And then this nigga you dating. I'm gonna say this one time and one time only, because after this, I don't give a fuck what happened between you and this nigga, because motherfuckers keep warning you about the nigga that you're with right now. That you popped up with out the blue before the ink on your divorce papers could even dry from the last husband. Okay? For this dude, do y'all remember the dude that they call Bishop Whitehead out of Brooklyn, New York? That's serving life in prison because he scammed motherfuckers out of millions of dollars, and he kept doing it. This dude, he kept going to prison on and off. He kept doing this scamming shit. And he done sat his ass up there in the church and he done scammed a couple of million, and now the motherfucker got to serve life. Keke Wyatt is dating his brother. A family of well-known motherfucking scammers. Kiki, what the fuck do you think is gonna happen to you? Because allegedly it's been said that he told you to cut off your adult son from your assets and your royalties and shit like that, your adult kids. Now, to a sense, I understand because they grown and they able-bodied and they can go to fuck to work. I understand that part. But at the same time, that ain't your husband. He came from out of nowhere. Like, what the, what the fuck? He really ain't got no say-so in that shit. But the reason why he's doing so is because he about to milk you the fuck dry, allegedly. He about to milk your ass dry. It's like his brother put on the whole scheme allegedly in Brooklyn, New York to do. All of this is alleged, people. All of this is alleged. But you know, Kiki, she could sing. She could sing, but she a motherfucking dating back. Kiki ain't that smart. She ain't. And if your second oldest son is a pedophile, we need to talk about your firstborn son. Because that little family show you had just a year ago, Keke Wyatt's World, you think that nobody noticed, or maybe production thought that nobody noticed that your oldest son living girlfriend that they had to switch his at her age to be closer to his. Because when they met, that would have put him at 18 or 19 years old, and she would have been 16 years old when they met and started dating. You think a lot of motherfuckers ain't catch on to that, because I remember that episode, and then by the next week when it came back on, her age was switched. They took it up a couple of brackets to be closer to his. This is just alleged. This ain't my problem. This is not my problem. But when you was on R&B Divas, that episode that you told your mom that she needed to go to counseling, and you paid for it, that's when you should have signed up the whole motherfucking family, including yourself. You and your mama should have been front and center. Y'all both should have been in there together, expressing your grievances and problems with each other as a family. That's what you should have did. Because you gonna quit sitting your ass up here and expecting us to act like your ass ain't crazy just because you can sing. And bitch, you can sing. You can. But because at this point, I'm sick of you and all your teen titans under your roof. I'm tired of all of y'all. Your second oldest son had to start up here and air you out for being homophobic. I am happy that he was able to battle cancer successfully. I am happy that for that the Lord was on his side. Because that's a terrible thing to have to fight. Cancer and sickle cell, for especially in the black community, that's a terrible thing to have to fight. And if you make it through, God was definitely there. He was there every time, every day. Now, for entertainment purposes, I've been sharing what your son been saying about you, but do I believe every last thing he said? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Because, like I said, Kiki, you the only girl out of all your siblings. You have 4 brothers. 3 of them are gay. You just this past week was at Gay Pride with 2 of them. And one of the drag queens, they had sang your song and did a little show for you, and you sat your ass up there with the fake tears and crying and shit. Girl, but everybody on the outside looking in, why you on the outside looking in? Let this be a lesson to you. This is how I go when you have family that you love but can't stand. Okay? Now, Kiki, you and me, we don't get along. We don't get along. Your ass is one of the you one of the people. That's the reason I ain't got no motherfucking Instagram no more. But listen, when they was up there talking all this crazy shit about you and saying that you got a whole house of horrors over there, bitch, I believe that. I believe that. And while everybody was coming after your third husband, who basically sat up there and told these motherfuckers, I ain't never scared. Okay, he sat there and told these motherfuckers, I ain't never scared. I'm gonna say what I need to say. She put me through hell the whole marriage. I'm gonna say what I need to say. Okay? The fact that first of all, like I already said, the young man called that called Kiki homophobic, it was his daddy, her first husband, that Kiki's she shanked the nigga. She shanked him. The knife broke off into the man. It broke off into him. He got half of a fucking liver. Okay? Kiki shanked the fuck out of that boy's daddy. I don't know if he was there and had to see that shit, but according to her mom, one time, her first husband, Kiki's first husband, also allegedly threw her out of a window when she was pregnant and was holding one of her children, one of her oldest children, in her arms when they were babies. So the oldest kids, they done definitely witnessed and seen some shit. They done been traumatized. Kiki probably ain't went to take them to get no type of motherfucking counseling because that bitch need counseling and we could tell she ain't never went. Okay? Kiki is a motherfucker, and it's crazy. It's sad because Kiki will tell you out of her own mouth that she is motherfucking crazy. But she will call other people crazy and tell them that they need to check into therapy. Babe, where do you think you belong? What category do you fall up under? So thanks to Tasha K, the people that are calling your son out and calling him a pedophile, if you paid attention to what Tasha said, she said that family members allegedly told her that this shit started him being a little creep ever since he was a little boy. They said it was before his cancer diagnosis and all of that shit. A child don't just randomly have the thoughts of being a motherfucking pervert. Not that damn young. Not that damn young. So before you bash him, If any of those things are true, we don't live with these people. We don't necessarily know. But yeah, the little boy, he may have been hell on wheels. That's not hard to tell. That he definitely would. I mean, when the older kids were growing up, it was like their whole time their mom would do reality television shows, and she would expose her home life and family. So we ain't gonna say that this little nigga wasn't off the top of the roof. We ain't gonna say that. He definitely could have been a little menace to society. They all could have been. Cause her oldest daughter, she looked like she a motherfucking handful too. What's that girl name? She called her Mimi or Mimi, whatever. She looked like she off the motherfucking Richter scales too. She looked like she off the hook. Okay. And according to the last husband, she is. Okay, according to the last husband, she is. She bullies everybody in the family, according to him. She just like putting her hands on motherfuckers. And he said you be letting her do it. We could tell that the one that's out right now, what's his name? Roger? Yeah, him and Mimi, the oldest daughter, we could tell that they off the fucking hook. We could tell. We can tell. Okay? But like I said, being that young, he is not going to randomly be a pervert or considered a pervert at such an age of being like a preteen, like 11 to 12 years old and shit like that. That that shit don't randomly the fuck happen. Somebody had to have victimized him. He was a child. His mind ain't just gonna wander to do no shit like that randomly. Kiki. At this point, put everybody in counseling or just throw the whole family away. Just throw the whole family away at this point. You full of shit, your mama full of shit, the whole gang is just, oh Lord. What a friend we have in Jesus, and we need him too. We need him. This too much. This too much. This too much. And on a side note, to the motherfuckers that's trying to air out Cat Williams for whatever reason, bitch. Listen, I ain't gonna say that this nigga ain't never did nothing wrong to nobody, but I'm saying that's Cat. That's Cat. I stand with him. I stand with that little nigga. I loved him. I loved him ever since what Friday After Next, Magic, Little Mike, whatever. That's my nigga. I love Cat Williams. He a OG, and maybe motherfuckers got so much to say about him because of that little interview he did on that went viral as fuck, and motherfuckers truly started getting aired out and exposed after that. But it is what it is. These celebrities are making my ass itch. And Kelly Price, baby, I still love you down. I love you down. But you got one more time, Kelly. You got one more again. And I'm going to drag this shit out of you. I'm tired. I'm tired of you. I'm tired. I don't know what it is. Lord. And it's so disheartening to hear the truth about motherfuckers that you grew up listening to or watching on television. Some of these motherfuckers, they be your favorite fucking people when you growing up. And then when you get grown and you start hearing shit, it's just so disturbing. Like, oh, is that how we giving it up? We doing that right there? Like that? Wow. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, but Kiki, your whole house is disturbed, babe. Allegedly. This is all alleged. Alleged. All of it. But you too motherfucking silent for me. They calling your baby a pedophile, even if that is the fuck true. He didn't just develop that on his own. Somebody had violated him. And I believe that's why you're not talking about it, because we have put two and two together. That young, he didn't develop that shit on his own. Somebody had violated him, and possibly some of your other children as well. And you, as the mother, that still got half of these motherfuckers under your roof, you need to start asking questions, Kiki. We don't want to hear no more. If only you knew how much I do. We don't want to hear no more of that shit. Give it back to Patti LaBelle and sit your ass down and some counseling with your children. Because if only you knew, okay? This is a lot. Take care, everyone.